Hello and welcome to class. Sorry I haven't been posting in a while, but I've been going through some physical therapy, trying to get better, trying to get back to you. But today we're going to talk about taxes. I know the other day we talked about it, or you all had a chance to look at it and take some notes on it. But I wanted to talk about some things in particular. Number one, taxes are the sum of money demanded by the government to support the government itself. Taxes are like a job to you and me. It's what goes into the government. It's what goes into their account so that they can pay the bills of the United States of America. It's paid by taxpayers. A person who pays taxes, that's a taxpayer. And guess what? Everybody in this room is a taxpayer. I know you're saying, well, how does that happen? I don't have a job. I don't do this. If you've ever bought anything in your life, then you've paid taxes. That makes you a taxpayer. So if anybody ever asks you, are you a taxpayer? You surely are, because you paid sales tax on something in your life. Um, Taxes benefit the community. And what is a community? A community is a group of people with a common interest and concern for a common good. Now, what does all of that really mean? It simply means anything can be a community. The United States is a community. The state of North Carolina is a community. The county of Chatham is a community. Siler City, Pittsboro are communities. Neighborhoods within those cities are communities. So a community is simply a group of people, doesn't matter how big or how small it is, that have common interests and a concern for the common good. So what do taxes help do? Well, first of all, taxes help you we build roads, we build libraries, they fund the military, fund public schools. Taxes fund the police and the fire department. They fund recreation, parks and trails. They fund walkways. Taxes kind of fund everything that we do. They fund the school system. They fund the buses that run in the school system. So taxes is how we pay our bills. If we didn't have taxes, our country would be in a bad way to be. Now, are we overtaxed? Probably. For the services that we receive, yes, I think we are overtaxed. But that's a discussion for another day, and I will get back to that because I want to talk to you as you begin thinking about voting and who you want to vote for and who would be best for the United States, who would be best for Chatham County, who would be best for the state of North Carolina. You need to think about some of these things, people's stance on taxes. Now, you are better off in a community than you are by yourself. Now, a lot of people say, nah, I'll be by myself. I want to just, act alone. I'm good acting alone. Well, if you act alone and somebody breaks in your house, or if you live alone and don't have the community, somebody breaks in your house, then there's no police. You have to deal with it. There are no common services like power, water, because you're on your own. So you have to kind of make everything happen yourself. So as you form a community and you pay taxes, you get the roads, you get the water, you get the parks, you get all of the benefits of having a common goal in mind. And taxes are a way that members of a community provide for themselves and one another. We'll be back in just a second because we're going to talk about a few more things. 5 types of taxes, and we need to know what those 5 types of taxes are. The first one is income tax. The second, and that's money on any income you make, earned or unearned. The second is payroll tax, the money that the company pays and you pay out of your check for taxes. Property tax, what the government in the county, and that's generally a local tax by the municipality that taxes property that you own, real property like houses, cars, boats, RVs, things of that nature. You pay tax on these things that you own and the place that you stay. Sales tax is the tax, and that's generally a state tax. That's the tax that you pay on purchases, items that you purchase. In North Carolina, I think it's 7.65%. So on every $100, we pay about $7.65 in tax. And then you have what's called excise tax, which is which is set up by the local municipality. And I'll give you an example. In Myrtle Beach, let me say this. Excise tax is tax on hotels, the special tax they put on hotel rooms, special tax they put on airline flights, the special tax that they put on tickets that you may buy to a concert or to an event or to a sporting event. Those are all examples of excise tax. So, as I was saying, an example is in Myrtle Beach. Roughly 80,000 rooms available in the city of Myrtle Beach proper. On the times that they're sold out, well, all 80,000 rooms are sold out. Myrtle Beach, the city of Myrtle Beach, charges a $12 to $15 fee per night as an excise tax. And that's basically, for you staying in Myrtle Beach, you're paying $12 to $15 a night. So let's say it's $15 a night. 80,000 rooms have been sold. Every night it's like that. Myrtle Beach has about 50 days a year where they're totally sold out. So for those 50 days, they're making $1.2 million a day. For 50 days, that's $60 million. An awful lot of money. Throughout the year, Myrtle Beach, through excise tax, makes somewhere in the range of $278 million just on hotel rooms. They also have excise tax on the shows and the concerts that they put on. They also have excise tax if you fly into Myrtle Beach, if you stay at a resort in Myrtle Beach. All of those things have excise taxes. So Myrtle Beach, the city, raises almost $1 billion a year. Excuse me, I made a mistake. $100 million a year or more in excise tax. That's the way they pay for roads. That's the way they pay for keeping the grass up. That's the way they pay for having all the services that they have in Myrtle Beach and so readily available to you when you go down there is excise tax. So let's think about it again. Income tax, payroll tax, and you have state and federal income tax. You have payroll tax, which is generally to the state. You have property tax, that is for the most part city or county. Sales tax, which is the state. Excise tax is generally the city or the municipality. All right, let's expound on this a little bit more. And basically talking about income tax. Income tax, well, like we said, is on earned and unearned income. Now, what is unearned income? Well, if somebody gifts you something, they give you $1,000 as a gift. You graduate from high school and you have a party, and several of your family members come and they give you donations of $4,000 or $5,000. That's unearned income. If you are willed something by a relative, your grandfather passes and left you $10,000, that's unearned income. You have to pay tax on both earned and unearned income. So earned income, money earned from working for pay. Unearned income, income received from some other source other than employment. Example of earned, wages or salaries. And another example of unearned income is interest on your savings account because you didn't work for that. That just your money was working for you. The bank is paying you a little something for putting your money in their bank, and that's unearned income. So you have to pay tax on that. Components of income tax, well, simple. It's federal income tax and state income tax. The federal government has their percentage, state government gets their percent, and it varies from state to state. Federal income tax is earned and unearned income, and it's the higher your income, theoretically, the more tax you pay. It's paid by the majority of people living in the United States of America, and that's the number one way, federal income tax, that we make money to pay the bills of the country. It's federal government. Government programs that are funded by the federal income tax, education, defense, disaster relief. Also, when you start looking at the other parts of taxes, you'll talk about Medicaid and Medicare, but we'll get into that in just a second. State income tax is, again, the higher your income, the more tax you pay. It's paid by those people living within the state that earn money in that state. But not all states have income tax. And I want you all today to take a look at and research what states don't have income tax. That'll be a quick, easy thing for you all to do, but it'll be interesting to find out. And what does state income tax do? It helps to fund state highways, the operations of state government, and just other things that the state has that they put into place. So, state income tax, what states have it, what states don't. Let me know. Payroll tax, a tax on earned income that supports the Social Security and Medicare programs. Now, I'm sure you've heard of Medicaid and Medicare. Medicare, the care part is what we do. We take care of our elderly. So that's Medicare. Medicaid is we give aid to people that can't afford to do or take care of themselves. So that's Medicaid. Let's not get that mixed up. And though Medicare and Social Security come under a subheading of tax called FICA, FICA. And that tax, payroll tax, is determined by a set percentage of your earned income. It's deducted out of your paycheck unless you're self-employed. And if you're self-employed, it's up to you to pay it in so that you have Social Security and Medicare coverage when you get to 65 or 70. It's paid by individuals who earn income from working for pay. It's also paid in by employers. So for instance, I work for Chatham County, so I pay some payroll tax out of my check. Chatham County generally matches what I pay, and they pay that to the government so that it's double the money going in. It's double the money. Both the employer and the employee are paying it. It helps fund, again, Social Security and Medicare. What is Social Security, for those who want to know? It's income for retirees. It's income for people that have profound disabilities. It's for children who have lost their parents. It's also a person with children who has experienced the death of a spouse. So they want to make sure that that money that the spouse has worked for all of his life or her life is allowed to be used by the people that need it, which is the husband or wife and the children. The tax is charged 6.2% of your earned income, and that it decreased actually in 2012 down to 4.2%, but I think it's gone up again since we've had the new administrations come in, and it's an annual maximum that you can put in. What is Medicare? Again, it's care. It's health care that's provided for senior citizens. 1.45%. Or from every $100 you make, $1.45 goes into Medicare. And there's no limit to how much you can put in over the course of your life. Okay, so we want to talk about property tax. What is property tax? We talked about it being a tax on property such as land, buildings, including homes, and motor vehicles. The tax is determined by the property value, and you pay a percentage of that value in property tax. Who is it paid by? The property owner. And it helps fund schools. It helps with expenses of state and local governments. So that's property tax.